Okay, I'm going to practice Uchikomi at home. This first video is just an introduction. I'll do the throws afterwards. I just want to get you set up. Dress comfortably. Today I'm wearing my gi just for the sake of formality, but I'm also wearing shoes. One, because I'm not on the mat, and two, I don't know what kind of floor space you have. I have a carpet. If you do this a lot, especially with the twisting motion on your base foot, start to get a burning underneath my toes. Also, I'm going to be using the door, and if I accidentally hit the door with my foot, I want to have some shoes on and not hit it with my bare feet. Couple things to start with. One thing I like to practice my motion is I will use like a sledgehammer and a tire. This kind of swinging motion and up and down, kind of practicing your seiwinage or any kind of motion and going in this direction. It's a great workout regardless of whether you practice judo or not. A way to do it at home, if you don't have a sledgehammer or a tire, or you're in your house and you need to be a little more quiet, is I'm just going to use a chair, a pillow, and a broom. Take a chair, I'll put a pillow on it, I'm going to use a broom. I'm also going to put gloves on. If you're not doing this a lot, you probably don't need it. Kind of depends on how smooth the broom is and how many repetitions you want to do. But I use it. I definitely use it when I'm using the sledgehammer or when I'm doing a whole bunch of repetitions. So just for that sake, I'm going to put it on. If you haven't ever used an axe or a sledgehammer, it's pretty simple. I'm going to hold the stick at its ends, not the end of the broom, but the very end of the handle. I make a circular motion, bringing the head up, and as I bring it down, my hand slides down the arm. Then I switch sides, sliding up, grabbing at the ends, coming around, my hand slides down as I drop it. I'm going slow for the sake of the video, so you can go a little faster, you get more of a workout, or harder, depending on how loud you can be with your roommates or your neighbors. Also notice from the side that I'm going down. I'm getting a squatting motion with each throw. This is a good practice. I notice a lot of people when they throw from kata is they bend over after their throw. In judo, when you throw somebody, almost every time you throw somebody, you're going to end up on the ground too. But when we do it from kata without any resistance, I'll throw somebody and they drop, and people will bend over at the waist. Now, this is a setup for no rimi on the oku. I throw them and I bend over and they pull me. I'm top heavy, I'm going to roll over and they're going to end up on top of me. Even if they don't pull me down, if they're holding on at all, every time I throw, they're pulling on me and it's straining my back. And even if they're not pulling on me at all, after you're doing dozens or hundreds or thousands of throws, probably tens of thousands by the time you get a black belt, this up and down motion on your back is going to put a lot of strain. So when I throw, I don't bend over at the waist, I drop straight down. I keep my spine straight up and down, perpendicular to the ground. It also gives me good form on the ground. I make contact with my knees, one on the head, one on the ribs, so I can feel and control their body. I don't even have to look down, especially if I'm dealing with multiple people. I drop them and I can feel them move underneath me, controlling their movement. I also have my knees together to set up that arm bar. Squeeze, drop, I'm ready to set up the arm bar if I need to. And there's no pressure on my back. Again, dropping, see me squat, come back up. So I'm getting a nice motion, throwing motion, squatting motion. It's a nice workout. It's a good way to practice your form. Now to actually work the throws, I'm going to use a belt. Everybody should have one. A couple of things you can tie it to. I like to use the door. Simple way to do that, I open the door, fold the belt in half, put it against the edge of the door. I can go over both handles, or I can go under both handles. Doesn't really matter. And pull it tight. Another option is if you have two belts, I'm going to take one and close the door on it. This doesn't work for every door. This one it works. I can close the door and it'll latch even within the door. Some of them won't close all the way, but this is another option. The problem usually is even if it latches, and I pull really hard, it'll come out. So make a knot with both your belts. Put one right over top of the other one, fairly close to each other. Make sure that the knot doesn't get caught in the door. Now, I can adjust the height a little bit better now, because it doesn't have to be the doorknob. If you want it higher or lower, that makes it easier too. And you got a lot more room, so that when you pull, you're less likely to hit the door with your feet.